Hello, greetings to everyone out there in YouTube land. Hello to all the mystics and the dreamers out there. My name is Belle, and I would like to do a little tarot inspiration today. As always, please think for yourself and take these tarot cards as inspiration only in the most positive way, or just leave it if it doesn't work for you. Today I'm using the Joie de Vivre Tarot by Paulina Cassidy. I think that's her name, by Paulina. And then the Paulina Tarot is going to be last. And in the middle we have Crystal Visions Tarot, 3x3, so 3 cards from 3 decks of tarot. And we had a jumper today from the Crystal Visions Tarot, which is Queen of Pentacles. And I'm feeling like the Queen of Pentacles is appropriate today for me, because I had 2 large cups of coffee and just having in a good mood. And since I'm a woman, I'm drawn towards the Queen cards of the tarot, just because it seems like a strong female energy that's inspirational, like living up to your full potential as a woman. Not that I would be a literal queen, but that archetype or that idea of carrying yourself with your own dignity and your personal power. So it's always cool when the Queen comes up, especially this awesome card, Queen of Pentacles. She has some crystals there. She has kind of a staff. She has a mask on, which is kind of interesting. But it seems like the mask is kind of adding to her outfit and her majestic stance more than hiding something. So I think it's just part of the way she wants to portray herself. So that's really cool. So that's like kind of the first card, even though Crystal Visions is going to be second. I guess let's just get started. I'm coming back from a nice vacation in Texas. I'm usually in Maryland. So it's nice to get away. Nice to people watch at the airports and stuff like that. It's fun to see everyone being their creative selves, just enjoying life. Airports are kind of fun, especially if you're traveling for leisure, because just, I don't know, to me it's like the sense of possibilities. Like, you could technically go anywhere. So it's just fun. And I don't travel for any like stressful work reason at this point, so it's just a fun thing to me to be people watching and be in the airport and going places. Texas is really cool. I was in Corpus Christi and San Antonio. Went to a lot of used bookstores. So I'll have to do a used bookstore video again. Anyway, okay, let's get into the cards. We already had the Queen of Pentacles from Crystal Visions. Now we're going to take a step back and go to the Joie de Vivre Tarot. I've drawn the cards, but other than the Queen of Pentacles, I haven't looked at them yet. Okay, the first card is 6 of Wands. This is interesting. I'll show you guys too. She kind of has a creepy look on her face. I like the way that she's stepping over. This could be some like nastiness down here, where there's like almost like weeds or tangled, like a tangled part of the forest that you can't get through, kind of like in one of those fairy tales. What fairy tale is that from? I don't know, where it's like all the thorns and the tangled branches. So she's stepping over all of that, and then she lifts her hat, and there are butterflies soaring out from under her hat. So she's got some tricks up her sleeve. She's really happy. And there's also almost a creepiness to it. And I don't know if that's just the style of the card, or if it's a little bit much. I don't know. So I would say overall this card is positive, but there's almost something a little bit, I don't want to say sinister, but a little creepy about this card based on her facial expression. But overall, it's a sign of strength. She's stepping over these tangles, and she's releasing the butterflies from her hat, but in between, you have this like creepy expression. Well, you know what it could be from? Since she's stepping over these tangles, she's not grounded. So maybe the creepiness that I'm getting the sense of is because it's this airiness that has a lack of grounding. So those are always good things to remember. Like, as even if you're soaring through the clouds in your mind, soaring through the galaxy, dreaming, you still want to stay rooted in some way. Not necessarily in traditional ways that are only right for others, but you want to stay rooted and grounded in the way that's right for you, which is pretty cool to like uncover the techniques that we prefer in our own lives. Okay, the second card in the Joie de Vivre is Knight of Cups. This is a beautiful card. He is riding on a fish. I can't tell if he's underwater or in the air. Oh, he must be like, he's in between the air and the water, because he is on a fish and he's releasing a bird from like a shell. And the bird has a compass, a heart compass, on the piece of paper that's with the bird. I don't know if you can see that or not. This is a very positive card, Knight of Cups. It's about moving forward, going places, and releasing positive messages into the world. That's really cool. And I really like the way that this is like a whimsical masculine energy. So it's not like a traditional doom and gloom masculine energy. It's renewing the masculine sense of things in a positive way. And I really like that about this card. Okay, the third card of Joie de Vivre is Ace of Swords. This is interesting. Okay. This card is very fantastical. We have like a little, almost like a mouse creature. I can't tell what kind of creature this is supposed to be. And he's carrying a crown on his sword. It's almost like he has stolen someone's crown in a mischievous way, and he's taking it somewhere else. He's like bounding over these bits of terrain there at the bottom, and he has a telescope as well. He has a sword in one hand and a telescope held up to his eye in the other hand. That's really interesting. So it's like he's stolen something about tradition and he's setting his sights on something new. So that's what this card means to me. This card means taking the best we can from tradition, but if something doesn't work for us, throwing it out and setting our sights on something brand new. Okay, so we already had, for the next deck of cards, which is Crystal Visions, I already talked about this card, the Queen of Pentacles, a little bit. Which to me, all the Queen cards are about having a sense of dignity, a sense of strength, and a sense of elegance, I guess. And Pentacles are typically like earthy, which kind of is portrayed by the crystals and the tree. So all in all, Queen of Pentacles is a very positive card. It can be interpreted in a few different ways. The card after that is Two of Wands, and this is interesting. The dragon and the man are both turned, their faces are turned away and they're looking off towards the distance. And then the dragon has the earth wrapped up in her tail. This is really interesting. I think this is also a way of saying that you're looking for something new, looking for the new horizon. In this one, there's a sense of just going for it, moving forward, taking the little bit from tradition that you can, represented by the sword and the crown, but then looking for exactly what you want in a really positive, really cool way, and just like having all that enthusiasm and that whimsy and just going after it. And this card has a similar sense in some ways because they're looking towards the horizon, but it's almost a little bit more somber because there's that lack of energy. In this card, you've got that movement. In this card, they're staying still and they really want to make the right move in a thoughtful and a little bit serious way. I don't know, this card could mean trying to be hopeful for Earth's future. You see the planet Earth there in the dragon's tail. So it could be about having a new perspective, seeing new horizons, and trying to move forward in a positive way despite the conflict or the little bit of problems that planet Earth has from time to time, or basically consistently. We have some types of conflict all over the planet, and yet we still have to move forward on a personal or individual scale as best we can. So I really like that about this card. It's almost like, with the Earth being so small, it's almost like showing that there's a dream that's bigger, a dream that's bigger than the superficial sense of what's going on planet Earth. That's cool. Okay, the third card from Crystal Visions Tarot is the King of Cups. That's cool. So I've been talking about positive ways of reinterpreting masculine energy or masculine dynamics, and this seems to be able to do that. We have the cups represented by the watery lagoon with the lily pads and the flowers there. We have the moon in the background, and this is funny. In our culture, we typically think of the moon as representing goddess energy and feminine mysteries. But I was reading somewhere that it just depends on the culture. Like, you can switch it, and you can have the sun representing goddess energies, and it can be whatever. It's basically like our choice. But I would say in our culture right now, a lot of times we'll think of the moon as representing goddess or feminine energies. So with the cups and the moon there, we have a king who's very much a whole person, in touch with his masculine and his feminine side. And that's great. He's able to stand tall in the way he wants to, with that balance of masculine and feminine energies. That's really cool. Okay, so we've had 3 cards from Joie de Vivre. We've had 3 cards from Crystal Visions. And we just have three more cards to go. And these are from the Paulina Tarot. And as I said, the Joie de Vivre and the Paulina Tarot are both by Paulina. What's her last name? Let's see. Yeah, her name is Paulina Cassidy. She's really cool. I have a fairy oracle deck of hers too, I think. I really love her art, and her whole perspective is very like whimsical and fantastical and fun. So let's move on to the next 3 cards and see what reflections we can find in these cards. Oh, interesting. Okay, so we have the Queen of Pentacles, right? We already had that. And here we uncover the Queen of Swords. Very different feel to this card. The Queen of Swords here is about being worried about deception, being worried about being lied to. She's on her guard. She's looking over her shoulder. She's keeping to herself, and she has a sword drawn. So this is a caution against being too worried, even to the point of being too paranoid about things. It never does any good to overthink something to the point of being so worried that you basically set yourself up for a worldview that's a little bit paranoid. There's no need to think about life in that way. And in fact, the more positive we can be and the more open-hearted we can be, for the most part, if our environment is peaceful, we're going to be better off. So there's no need in this day and age, for the most part, there's no need to be paranoid. There's no need to carry a sword and look over your shoulder. There is a need for safety and peaceful environments, but I don't know, it's just like such a difference between these cards. Like in this card, this woman is in a safe environment of the Queen of Pentacles. She's in her majesty. She's in her full sense of power and dignity. This card is from a different era. This card is from when the queen didn't have a sense of safety. And the whole environment is affected when women don't have a sense of safety. It just affects everything. And it's very dark. It's very sinister. And we're basically, in our history, we're still on the verge of coming out of these eras of a weird sense of masculine energy that was very aggressive, which isn't necessary for masculine energy at all, but it was very much like aggressiveness, and women didn't have a sense of safety. And of course there are parts of the world where women still don't have a safe environment, and I think we all know how unacceptable that is. So to me, having both of these cards come up is about showing what's possible. So here we have the Queen of Swords, who is ready for a fight, looking over her shoulder because she's not in a safe environment. And here we have a Queen of Pentacles who is completely in her safe environment, completely in touch with who she is, where she wants to be, and her own sense of personal power. And it's magical in this case. I mean, she has these crystals, there's this beautiful forest around her. So I think we all benefit when the archetype of the queen or the archetype of strong feminine energy is respected and valued. Everyone benefits from that because we all have a sense of masculine and feminine. So, and that's just a traditional way of looking at masculine and feminine. I don't even necessarily think that that's always necessary. And that's, in that sense, the tarot is a little bit traditional, right? Like you have queen and king still. If I was going to make a tarot deck at some point, I'd probably switch that up and just have something that could be gender neutral, because personally I've always felt like masculine and feminine kind of oversimplify things to a huge extent. Anyway, so that's what I think about that. Let's move on to card number 2 from the Paulina Tarot. Page of Wands. This is interesting. Okay, we didn't get the Page of Wands, we got the 2 of Wands before in the Crystal Visions Tarot. But it's almost like a similar card. So 2 of Wands, we had the man and the dragon. And here we have kind of a court jester, because he's wearing that mask. He's almost like a mime or something. Anyway, some kind of character on this Page of Wands card, and some kind of dragon-like animal with him. Anyway, the most important thing about this card that I'm drawn to is the way he's holding up this torch. And the torch is casting this huge amount of illumination all around. It's almost like a torch of victory, or just very positive energy, very positive light being directed outwards. This light shining brightly. So I really like that. Let's see what the third card is and see if we can tie these together or not. Ooh, this is so interesting. Okay, so by chance, I was already talking about how this card reminds me of like not respecting women enough, to the point where women are looking over their shoulder and being cautious because their environment is not safe. And then we got this one, a bright torch of illumination. And then the third card I just uncovered is the Emperor. And this is like the aggressive masculine energy that I was mentioning, because he has this very sinister look on his face. It's not someone you want to run into. He seems, let's see, it just seems like not that great an energy from this card. Very sinister. So I think this is saying that if you have too much of a negative or aggressive difference between masculine and feminine energy on the planet or wherever, in whatever environment you're talking about, it's going to be a problem. But if we have a sense of balance, we can have this torch of illumination. And actually in this card, you can't even tell if this is a man or a woman or whoever in this card. And it's a sense of balance, a sense of unity, and that is what is enabling this character to hold up this torch of light. It's very positive. So that's what I would say from these last 3 cards. Looking at everything, obviously it's so interesting, like the atmosphere of each deck of tarot cards is much different. And then of course it's even more different depending on which ones you pull and uncover. So, I don't know, I'm just really happy with these cards. I'm already at 20 minutes, so I won't really do an overview. But feel free to go back and stop the video if you want to look at one of the cards I showed more closely. Because these are really beautiful images and just really fun. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Looking forward to doing more videos in the future, and I will see you next time. Thanks. Bye.